Well, hello Horror Nights fans, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I am Shannon and this is One Spark of Magic. And today we are still counting down to Halloween Horror Nights. Can you believe we're less than 2 weeks away from the opening night? And today we are going to go through all the different ticket packages, all the different tours and special little things that you can add on to your ticket. So we're going to go through everything so you can make the right decision for what you want to do, plus your budget. And I'll give you some tips and tricks of what I think might be good for certain situations. But let's go ahead, let's get to it. We are in the park today, but I will not be doing my construction update as of right now because I'll be doing a separate video of that because we have so many new updates as well that they've released about the houses and further into the story and what's going to happen, and some of it's really crazy. Like some of the things that have come out in interviews and magazines and on TV, it's just been crazy. So I'm really excited to show you all that, but I'm going to be filming that for you guys tomorrow and give you all that update plus the construction update here in the parks. Today, it's all about the tickets. So let's go ahead, let's get started. All right, so first up is going to be our single night tickets. Now, it's exactly how it sounds. It's for one night of Halloween Horror Nights. That is going to include all the haunted houses, all the specialty shows, your scare zones. All of that is going to be included with your ticket. It is just for one night. Now, the ticket prices for these do go between about $83 to up to about $125, depending on what night you're going to be here. Now, the later you are into the season, the higher the ticket price is going to be, and that does not include tax either. So just budget that in as well for you. Now, if you're planning on going for just one night, this is going to be the ticket for you. However, we have more. There are multi-night tickets. Now, there's different tiers to this and different levels. So we're going to go through each and every one of them and see if it's something that might be beneficial to you if you're planning on coming for more than one night. However, I also want to remind you, if you are a pass holder and you're a premier pass holder, you get a free Halloween Horror Nights ticket with your annual pass, just like I do. I would highly suggest making sure to take advantage of that, and because that's $100 basically that you're getting for free with your annual pass. Hello, another perk of annual passes. But if you're doing that, make sure you go on and do a reservation system. So in the years past, you could just show up on any night you wanted to as a pass holder and be able to scan in. This year, you actually have to reserve the night that you're coming to Halloween Horror Nights. There is a link on the annual pass holder page on the Universal website that you can go to make your reservation. I will also try to link that in my description below for you too if you need an easy access to get to that website. All right, so let's get into these multi-night passes. So those of you that want to experience Halloween Horror Nights more than one night, you're going to want to look into these frequent fear passes. These frequent fear passes do have a ton of different tiers to them, so we're going to go through each of them. We'll give you the synopsis of each one so you can decide which one might be best for you. But really look into this because it's a great value if you are planning on coming for more than 2 nights. All right, so the first one is going to be your Rush of Fear. This one is going to be about $200, and it's going to get you into the first 4 weeks of Halloween Horror Nights. So that gives you about 18 days. So for $200, you can possibly get into 18 different Halloween Horror Nights events. That is a steal. However, if you aren't going to be here for those days, this may not be the best for you, or if you only want to do it for one night because you can only stand the screams and terror of one night, I totally understand. But if you want to do multiple and you're going to be here during that period of time, this is going to be the best option for you. This is actually the pass that I picked because I'm going to be coming back later in the season to use my free Halloween Horror Nights pass that I have with my pass holder discount. But I'm also going to be here that first week, and I wanted to be able to see everything and do everything and show you everything as well. So I got this one so I can come and go as I please during the Halloween Horror Nights events. However, if you're going to be here for a longer period of time, or maybe if you're a local, this next year might be the one for you. So this next one is the Frequent Fear Pass. Now, this one's going to be running around $250. This gives you access to the event on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, plus the opening weekend. So this one, it doesn't have as much flexibility, but you have a longer period of time to be able to use this ticket. However, I do want to note that Fridays and Saturdays are not included with this ticket price. So it is $50 more than the Rush of Fear Pass, but you also have less flexibility in those first 4 weeks. There's more in this. There's the Frequent Fear Plus. Now this one's gonna run you about $300. Now this pass is gonna give you most weekdays and the first and last weekends. So this one still has a little bit of that blackout period of time that you're not gonna be able to use, but it's more open than the Frequent Fear passes. And then for the big kahuna of them all is the Ultimate Fear Pass. This one's gonna run you about $420, but it's gonna give you access to every single night of Halloween Horror Nights. No blackout dates, not on weekends or anything. It's every single night of the event. You can be here and you can be screaming your little head off. Now, which of these tickets should you choose for the actual event? Well, again, that's gonna depend on when you're gonna be here. So for me, I'm not a local. I live 3+ hours away from here, and so I'm only gonna be here for a very small segment of the Halloween Horror Nights event. That's why the Rush of Fear Pass was the most savvy for me to get, both budget-wise and convenience-wise. However, for my locals, if you're planning on coming on multiple nights throughout the entire event and you want to see how these houses grow, because they do, as the scare actors get more in tune with what they're doing, there's a little bit more of it put together throughout the event, so it does change just a little bit. Like the storylines and the paths are going to all be the same, but the scare actors do kind of mature into their role as the event goes on. So if you want to continue to come, if it's in your budget, I would say just go ahead and get the Ultimate, so that way you can have access every single time that you're here. It's just easier than trying to keep track of, oh, I have this night available, but I can't go this night, but I can't go again until 2 weeks from now. So it gives you that flexibility if it's in your budget. It is $420, so it's nothing to write off and just say, oh, here's $420. However, sometimes I feel like I do that with my own money. However, with your money, I want you to get your best value. So if it is in your budget and it's something that you want to experience as many times as you possibly can, that is the way to go. However, one thing we have not talked about yet is the opportunity to be able to put on express passes on all of these. Now, the only one of these that was available with express pass upon filming this is the Rush of Fear Pass. And again, that was the one that I purchased. And just so you know how expensive it is to add this on, so the ticket was $200 for the first 4 weeks of Halloween Horror Nights. To add on the express pass for every night, it went up to $700. So it's a big difference from $200 to $700. And again, if you were going to be able to come each of those nights, it might be worth it because the lines can get 2 hours long. But for me, I'm like, I'm coming multiple nights. That means I don't have to do every house every night. And I can wait a couple of times for a long line if I really want to see the house or see it multiple times. And if you are somebody that's going to be doing that, but you don't have the money for the express pass, I highly suggest coming later in the night. After midnight, the lines seem to really die down and really be more manageable and reasonable to go through. So if you are coming multiple nights, but you can't be there for the whole thing, try coming later in the day. That might make it easier for you and you don't have to dish out that additional $500 or more, because it gets more expensive the higher up tier you get. And that way you can budget friendly and still get to see all the things that you want to see. So since I brought it up, Express Pass, for anybody that doesn't know, that's a skip the line that they have here at Universal. So if you have Express Pass for Halloween Horror Nights, that means you can cut in front of everybody else and you don't have to wait in the obnoxiously long lines. And you can do that once per house per night. Now the prices for that range about $140 for the individual ticketed nights. So if you do have one of the other tiered events that's the multi-night, but you only really want it for one night, it might be more beneficial for you to add it onto that one night that you want it instead of getting it onto your ticket. If you're looking to save a little bit more, it might be beneficial to get an individual night or to just go multiple nights and just plan on doing a couple and not doing all of it in one night. This year especially is going to be easier for you to do that. Why? Because there is more entertainment and there's also more experiences to go around. So we have our 2 new experiences this year that we went through before. We have the DJ area as well as the Mills Die-In. That is going to be more of an experience, as well as we have the ghoulish type show out here on the lagoon. So you're going to have more things to experience this year than you have in the past. So coming multiple nights and not worrying about Express Pass, to me, seems like the best thing to do. Now, those are all of the tickets that you can purchase for Halloween Horror Nights. However, there is a VIP, or shall I say R.I.P experience that you can have for Halloween Horror Nights, and that is the R.I.P tour. Now, the R.I.P tour is a fully guided front of the line experience that you can have here during Halloween Horror Nights. Here you get immediate entry to each of the haunted houses, you get a pre-tour reception with appetizers, valet parking, reserved seating at shows, and unlimited express access for rides during the event. Now this one's going to be a little bit of a hefty tour here. It is going to run you about $370, and it does not include your entry into the event, which means you still need a ticket to the event. So if you have one of the multi-night passes, you can use one of those nights to take this and not have to buy an extra ticket. But if you're coming on a single night, you have to make sure that you have a separate ticket for this event as well to be able to take the tour. Now, I have not done the R.I.P tour. However, I am very willing to do it if Universal wants me to review it and tell you guys if it's worth it. However, I have had friends that have done it and they said it's absolutely amazing and you get everything done that you want to, and it's just a cool experience to be able to have. And your tour guides do give you a lot of background and information that you wouldn't necessarily get if you're just waiting in line. So it is a great experience. However, it is on the upper hand side of your budget. I think you can still enjoy the event without it. However, if you've got the funds, I would do it. And if you want to pay for me to go too, I'll go with you. Now, if the nighttime scares are not really your thing and you'd rather see it during the daytime with no scare actors, there's actually an option for you too. Or if you're one of those like me who just likes to hear the background story and see the details that are put into these houses, these tours are going to be for you as well. Now, during the daytime, Universal does offer these tours. They're called the Unmasking the Horror Tours, Behind the Screams. Now, this is a lights-on, behind-the-scenes peek at all of the houses. So there will be no scare actors, and all the lights will be on. So if you get a little terrified, this is really good for you to be able to see the stories and the creativity that they put on without having to be worried about having jump scares on you. And again, like I said, I love going through and seeing the details. Sometimes when you're going through at night, you don't get to see all the details that are put into it and see the full storyline because you're just kind of running from one scare actor to the next and screaming over top of what is actually going on. So it's nice to be able to walk through and be able to see everything in such detail and just be able to experience it in that way. There are two different types of tours that you can do. You can do a 3-house tour or a 6-house tour. The 3-house tour starts at around $85 per night and going up. Most of them that I saw are going to be higher than that. I saw more around the $100, $120 night. And the 6-house tours are going to start around $170, but they also do include a lunch of some sort as well for you. Again, you get to see everything behind the scenes, you get to learn about the houses, you even get to take some pictures if you want. Now, there's only select a few places that they will let you do that, and your tour guide will let you know when you can, but it's the only way to be able to take pictures in these houses, and it's kind of cool thing. Now, both of these tours, you're going to get a commemorative pin as well as be in a group of about 12 people. If you do the 3-house tour, it's going to last about 2.5 hours, whereas the 6-house one is going to be about 5 hours long. Again, the 6-house tour is including your lunch buffet as well. Another great thing about the Unmasking tour is you don't have to have a ticket for the event. So you don't have to come to Halloween Horror Nights, and you can actually make it on a day that you're not doing Halloween Horror Nights at all. That way you're not having a whole full day here at the park, because trust me, I tried that one time. Park open to all the way at the end, and it goes till 2 o'clock in the morning. That was rough. So I do not wish that on anybody, and I understand if you're here for one day, you want to get the most out of it that you possibly can, but if you have the option, do it on separate days. Now again, these ones are during the day, so I would not recommend you booking it for the next morning after you went to Halloween Horror Nights. Because again, if you're going to be here till 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to be back over there for a 10 o'clock tour of these houses. It might be a little rough on you there too. But these tours seem really cool. I do have a ticket for the 3-house tour, and I'm going to try to vlog it. I'm not sure how that's going to work because I can't record anything, but I'll at least try to do a review of it afterwards and give you some insider information and tell you if I think it's worth it or not. But we are not done. We still have more to go. Now, if you're looking to beat the crowds here and to get the most out of your day, I'm going to recommend you do the Stay and Scream. Now, if you're looking to beat the crowds into those houses, I would highly recommend doing the Stay and Scream or the Scream Early tickets. I always call it Stay and Scream. I don't know which one's right. This one is really great though, because you can get into the park at 3 o'clock. You can do some rides and enjoy the park all the way up until Halloween Horror Nights is going to start. Now, this year they're doing it a little bit differently. Last year and years past, they've always had it where you get into these like holding pens where you have to be in and check in for the Stay and Scream. And then once they open up the houses, they'll let you go free once they know that the whole park is cleared of non-Stay and Scream people. Well, this year they're gonna give out wristbands and let you meander around the whole entire park, so you don't have to worry about being in the holding pen next to the house that you wanna get into. So this one's really great because it's only $55 and you can get at least one, if not up to 3 houses done before everyone else gets in. They will open some of the houses early for you to get into that people will not be able to get into because the event hasn't opened yet. And then you'll also be able to be some of the first people in line for some of these other houses. So for me, this is a great value, and to be able to get some of those houses done early so you can relax the rest of the night and wait in those 2-hour lines if you need to. Now, if you are an annual pass holder or you do have a day ticket to Universal for that day, you don't have to worry about getting the Stay and Scream ticket because it's going to be already included. You can just scan in with your pass or your day ticket, and if you have a Halloween Horror Nights ticket for that night, you can do the Stay and Scream. So you don't have to buy a separate ticketed event for that. So that's why it's another great thing. So if you're a pass holder, this is a must do. Another thing is too, if you're not doing the Stay and Scream, the lines to get into Halloween Horror Nights for right at open, right when the event starts, are absolutely bonkers and crazy. Like, the lines will be chaotic. So my thing is either do the Stay and Scream or just wait for everyone else to get through that crazy line and come maybe like 30 minutes later. And last but not least is the premium Scream Night tickets. Now this is a one night only event, and this is happening on August 28th. I've mentioned this before because I'm gonna be there myself and I'm gonna be enjoying it for the very first time this year. Last year was the first year for this event, and people were raving about how much they got to do and how many times they got to go through the different houses, and all the food is included. It's just a great event. It's expensive. When I purchased the tickets, they were $375. Plus I got the annual pass discount, but now they're up over $400. So they're very expensive, but if you look at it as a way of if you got a regular one single night plus express pass, and then the food that you would be purchasing while you were there, to me, it's the same price, and you have less crowds and you won't have to wait in 2-hour lines. And then you can try as much food as you want because it's all included. So I love that part of it. So if you can't make it to this year's, hopefully they bring it back next year and you can do that, because I think that is the best bang for your buck, even though it's one of the most expensive things to do. Now, there's no absolute right answer to which ticket to get, but there is wrong answers. So wrong answers is overpaying for something you're not going to be able to use. If you're only going to come to maybe 3 times, having the ultimate frequent fear pass is not going to necessarily be in the best interest of you or your money. However, if you're going to be coming multiple nights and you want to be able to experience the whole event, it might be the best for you. So just make sure to really recognize what it is that you want to do, and also what it is that you're willing to do, and what you're willing to pay for. So you can have a great time. I don't get express passes any of the years that I've been coming. I enjoy the event while I'm here. Sometimes I come more than once. Sometimes I only come once a year. It just depends on what my schedule is. So you just need to look and see what is gonna work out best for you. But I think if I had my ultimate thing of what to do, it would be exactly what I did this year. I got the premium Scream, I got the Rush of Fear pass, and then I used my free one for later on in the season. So that's what I did, and it seemed to be the most beneficial, both money-wise and scheduling-wise for me. So look what your family wants to do and what you want to do, and have fun, be scared, and do all the fun things with this event. It's going to be a killer year. There's going to be so much to do, so much to see, and so much to report on. So keep coming back. We have another countdown video that's going to be coming out hopefully next week. I am waiting on this. This is my favorite part of Halloween Horror Nights. It's the food. And I am hoping they will announce the food menus before next week so I can get that to you as our countdown continues. But until then, I will see you in the fog. Toodaloo.